Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1157 of our daily content grind, and today it is a Monday, which means it's time for a news roundup, going over everything we missed in the world of Transformers over the last week. As always, if you like this kind of stuff, please hit like and subscribe. That helps the channel out tremendously if you have not done so yet. Also, I've got a link in the description to my Blue Sky. If you've noticed, I've been very quiet on Twitter because, frankly, I would like to no longer use Twitter. So if anyone interested in following me and getting updates on what's going on, as well as social media notifications as to what's going on, you can go over to Blue Sky. That is the way of keeping in touch with me outside of, actually, pitching in on Patreon and getting into my Discord. So there's your options, because frankly, I'm probably not going to be paying attention to Twitter much longer. So there's your fair warning. But let us begin. Let us begin with the news. And we touched on this a little bit earlier this last week, because this is one of the 13 primes for Age of the Primes. Supposedly, this is a prototype for Prima. Without a head, that's a little bit difficult to tell. This happens every now and then, and it drives me nuts when it happens, when someone gets their hands on an early figure, and for whatever reason, they intentionally remove the head. Now, there are various reasonings for that. One of them might be because that might be where the toy is marked with a production number. They typically mar faces to make those prototypes and those early examples less desirable, to potentially discourage people from stealing from the factories and selling them. But those marks might also indicate who was working the production line that day or who was in charge of this prototype. So yeah, there's a few reasons why the head might be missing from this. It's still annoying. It's still annoying to have, this much of it there. Keep in mind, it is prototype color. The final will likely not be in this kind of coppery color. We have no idea what they will be, especially with ones like Prima, who have never had any proper fictional depiction outside of the artwork from the Covenant of Primus. But that said, it's looking interesting. The aesthetic and the sculpt is definitely unique to Transformers. It really only reminds me of characters like Vector Prime. Some who are already in the 13. It's not your standard design. There's not a whole lot to glean from how it works here. You can see panels on the forearms for transformation, a midsection piece, so it indicates something will have to rotate around without turning the entire torso. The hips are at different heights. That's weird. Not entirely sure how that happened. We can take a look at the backside, and I pointed this out during the video. The back of the legs contain 4 wheels, as well as the back containing a windshield and what looks like a fold-down panel, which would indicate that this vehicle mode, whatever this turns into, is probably going to end up looking like a truck. Prima, as far as the original 13 goes, was supposed to be your prototypical Prime, the first Matrix bearer. So being a truck of some kind makes total sense for Prima. And you'll excuse me if I take a drink once in a while. My throat has been dry today. I do apologize. Point being, it does look like it's going to be at least somewhat traditional as far as a Prime goes, but obviously it's going to be a very alien design. I think all of the 13 are going to be, which means retools and repaints of them are going to be very interesting indeed. But it's interesting to speculate on. This popped up just this morning. This is a long-rumored Studio Series Deluxe Optimus Prime based on Transformers Devastation. So here we have, I presume, another in the Gamer Edition Studio Series figures. It's interesting because it shares nothing with the currently released G1 toy Optimus Prime, which I think everyone was assuming that would be the case. Nope, completely new mold, complete with a lot of nice deco to make it look more accurate to the game. In particular, that cell shading that was done to Optimus Prime's glass replicated very well here. It actually looks quite nice. Yeah, looks nice in the packaging. The robot mode does look really neat. You see the screenshot on the back of the box. That's handy. Comes with a matrix in the chest. It just looks like a fine little Optimus Prime. There are some oddities to it, like the fact that you can see the tires sticking out the side of the leg. in a weird angle for an Optimus Prime. Typically, the tires are either left on the side or they're hidden in back. This Optimus hides them in the front. And it genuinely makes me curious. Yeah, it's not the prettiest looking thing, but it does make for a somewhat cleaner look to the legs, and it makes me very curious as to how this toy is going to transform. We do get some idea, though, when we look at the vehicle mode. So, the toy has been drawing criticism because of this vehicle mode, because this is a sloppy-looking Optimus Prime truck mode. This is akin to Classics Optimus Prime, or where my head went, Robot Masters. Like, that is very much a Robot Masters looking Optimus Prime to me. Or even, like, hybrid style. It's in that vein of, like, this is just an off Optimus Prime. Which is weird considering, you know, the G1 Optimus came out. The toy-based Optimus came out, and everything on that was actually pretty smooth. So you would think they take a few design cues. Nope. I'm more curious is, like, the fact that there were two deluxe Optimus Primes in production at the same time going for very different things is kind of curious. I'm not sure that was the best idea because they seem to have both turned out interesting. But, yeah, it's at least going to be a nice-looking Optimus Prime action figure. I think I'm going to take the same stance I do with the Classics Optimus. It's fine as an action figure, but transforming it might be a little bit messy. That said, this will scale very well with your Studio Series 86 Devastator, if you want something a little bit more accurate to how the Transformers Devastation looked. That's what this is for. And in that, yeah, I can actually see a use for it, especially if we get more from that game. I would love to see more of them. Studio Series also brings us our first in-box look at Sentinel Prime from Transformers 1. Looking very, very cool. It is a really, really cool design. I mean, no matter what the character is, I have to admit, he has style. I do have to admit that. Yeah, and just looks very, very nice in package. And I still continue to really like the new packaging for Studio Series. Like I've said, I'm very happy to get rid of the logo down the side. I much prefer it up front, where it's right side up. I think using the character art and the vehicle art on the front, both, I think gives it a really cool look. So it's way better. It's just such a better demonstration of the character and the toy. Presentation's important. It's very important. You also notice plastic window in the box, and they've ditched the scene background, which according to them, no one used. So I'm kind of happy to see that gone as well. Cleans up the packaging quite a lot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the toy. Speaking of in-package shots, we have the first package shot for the new Lio Convoy, the one that's coming out in Japan as part of the T-Spark 40th Anniversary selection. And aside from those two marks on the box and the 40th Anniversary logo, it's just a really nice recreation of the packaging from Beast Wars II. It's a beautiful example. The only thing that would make this, like, cooler is if, like, they replicated, like, the old photos, like the cross-sell on the box, but I don't think they're going to go that far. Because as far as I know, there's nobody else from this particular line planned. Get away with it on the Tasmania Kid, I guess. Just have him on the cross-sell. It does look really, really nice. I think that's the only photo of it we have, unfortunately, but it's a really good mock-up of the original packaging. I mean, I really like the retro style here. I'm going back and forth on whether or not I like Lio Convoy enough to pay the upcharge, to pay the money for, like, the import enhanced version. Still on the fence about that. It'd help a lot if they had actually announced, so, I don't know, a Galvatron to go with it. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. I'm shooting for the moon here, people. I need that toy. I need that toy. Looking good, though. Speaking of the T-Spark stuff, Synergen X released the official images for their Godzilla crossovers. It is very weird to me that we've known about these for quite a while now. We've seen photos of them, and yet now we're getting the official stock photos to get really clean looks at how they came out. So, from what we know, or from what we have assumed, It seems as though these were very quickly done so that they would coincide with the Godzilla 70th anniversary, which is why these guys do seem a little bit rushed. And they seem like the Transformer characters cosplaying as Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, sorry, Kiryu, and not actually, you know, representing the Godzilla character. It does feel like a waste, because, like, that is not Godzilla. That's just Gray Grimlock. It is disappointing because this could have been really, really something special. A transforming Godzilla toy would have been like, whatever you want to pay, whatever you want me to pay you, I will pay it. But no, we get that. At least it comes with atomic breath, I guess. And here's the Kiryu Optimus Prime. Now keep in mind, this is not the only time they have done something like this. The Street Fighter collabs were very much in the same vein, so this is not unfamiliar territory. But it is disappointing to see that, yeah, they feel kind of shallow. You know, it feels rushed. And, yeah, it just kind of feels like we missed an opportunity here. I mean, Prime looks okay in the vehicle mode. I don't mind the vehicle mode look. I think he looks incredibly plain in the robot mode. And for those telling me, oh no, he's silver, it'll look much better. I'm not seeing much silver reflection here. We're just not. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe if we get like in-hand shots, it'll look better. But for right now, this just comes across very dull to me. This just comes across very boring. It's a letdown. Yeah, the whole project's a letdown. We've been over that before. We've lamented about it. We need to move on. Transformers are going to be trying Hero Mashers again, named Mixmashers this time. It's the same gimmick we have seen in the past, where the parts are all removable and swappable with other figures in the line. The upside to this version of it seems to be they're not including random bits from other characters who aren't going to get Hero Mashers. You know, like when Hero Mashers did Transformers, there was always like a random bit from another character thrown in. Like, oh, Bulkhead's arm is thrown in with somebody, so you can like do the swapping play pattern with only one purchase. But that just kind of made us wish that like Bulkhead got a full figure. It's like it's like them releasing a Build-A-Figure, but only one or two parts of said Build-A-Figure. And then the rest never come out. So it looks like these things come two different ways. They look decently articulated, just basic, you know, evergreen style Transformer action figures that have a lot of swappable parts. Okay, fine. And then they come two different ways, if we can get a look. This is such a memeable image. This is such a memeable image. It looks like he's trying to convert to his G2 mode, and it just hasn't taken yet. But it's the Evergreen Megatron, and he does come with a lot of extra parts, so it looks like we're getting smaller figures and larger ones. They're the same scale, but they come with a different loadout of parts. So it does give you a lot more swappable options right out of the packaging. Okay, that's fine. It's not the kind of toy line for me. But, you know, I'm sure there's some kid who's going to enjoy it. I don't know. Like, they've tried Hero Mashers more than once now, and they're doing it again, and they just seem like they keep trying to make this play pattern work, but the toy lines never survive. So I'm not sure what they're going for here. Now, here's the interesting thing. You see that wing pack Megatron comes with. It's very Sentinel Prime looking wing pack. Optimus Prime seems to come with matching armor for it. So if you buy both, you're going to get a full set of this like armor that kind of reminds me of like, was it Cyberverse where Optimus had the big toy that combined with like a mini version of the Arc for armor? Because that toy actually looked really cool. Very stunted Optimus Prime, but it looked cool. The armor up form looked cool. So it looks like they're kind of throwing back to that. Okay, we got a Primal coming out as well. Nice to see at least some Beast representation sticking around. Can I see the look of Optimus Prime? There's a ton of photos. Yeah. So yeah, there's what the fists and the feet look like. Optimus Prime comes with those. Megatron comes with the backpack. It would be neat if someone came with like a torso swap, so you could also have that included as well. We'll see. We'll see. I kind of like that part of the play pattern. I don't know if it's going to work out or not, but hey, they're trying again. We'll see how it goes. If anything, free parts for customizers. One more new product, and by new product I mean a repack of a whole bunch of old product. So this is the first look that we have of the Mega Changers Multipack that's going to be a Target exclusive in the US. It has the brand new Mega Changers for Transformers 1, Optimus, and Bumblebee, and then the same old ones we've seen in Authentics for Megatron and Starscream. These are not new molds. These are the exact same figures that they've been releasing for years. We don't have like a picture of the back of the box to show you an example, but yeah, only half of this is somewhat new, and none of them are really all that impressive. It's disappointing. I'm sure this is like a cheap compilation box for kids come Christmas. You know, if a parent just wants to drop $50 and get a bunch of really big figures all in one box as a impressive gift for like a little kid, that would be fine. But, you know, for collectors, nothing interesting. We have in-hand shots of the brand new Hot Wheels Track Fleet Ultra Magnus that's on the way. So you can see it is the repaint of the cab section of the Optimus Prime that is currently released, but obviously a brand new trailer. I'm happy that Hot Wheels actually did go through the trouble of creating a brand new trailer, because that is a very different trailer than they usually produce. It looks fine. You know, it looks exactly what it's supposed to be. It's a tiny little version of Ultra Magnus. I do not believe it is big enough to carry anything, though. So that might disappoint a little bit. But yeah, it seems like it's the exact same size as the other Track Fleet Optimus. You know, details seem correct, you know. Yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine. I do, thanks to a kind viewer out there, I do actually have the Hot Wheel Bumblebee. I do have the Track Fleet Optimus on order, just waiting for that to ship. We might do something with those. Maybe nothing huge, but keep an eye out. I have an idea. Now, if you want to keep your eye out for these, this is the wave you are looking for, so memorize these very, very quickly. You're looking for this, like, train-looking thing. You're looking for this faux fire truck-looking thing. I don't know what any of these things are. You got a green truck, a blue truck. Yeah, so if you see, this is what you need to memorize. If you're seeing these guys on the shelf, it means Ultra Magnus is or was there. So keep an eye on. We cover Blockies again, and Blockies is back with Galaxy Version Defender, or O1 Galaxy Shining. It is new figures for their, blind package line. Now we saw images of these before, but they're kind of small and blurry. Here we get a better look at them. They are very much more like super deformed in style than the standard Blockies are. You can see like Prowl here is much more squat in proportions than he typically is. So brand new sculpts, just a different aesthetic for the figures. And yes, there are vehicles mixed in as well, which is kind of cool. There's Thundercracker. Always like to see a Thundercracker around. He does have his vehicle mode. These do not transform, keep in mind. These are basically mini model kits that come in a box. So you'll be able to put together, some of them you'll be able to put together vehicle or robot mode depending on which box you pull. They're neat. They're a neat little aesthetic piece. And I quite enjoy my Blockies. So it's good to see that there's a new variety on the way out. If you like other big-headed collectibles, Funko is announcing a whole bunch of new stuff right now. So this is our first look at the bitty. What is this? I can never remember. I don't remember. This is a brand new style of Funko Pop that they have been showing off, and there is like an assortment of these that are all like piloted robots. You know, like there's a Hulkbuster with a tiny little Iron Man, like one of the bitty, tiny Funko Pops inside. So yeah, you hinge the head up. There is a tiny Rumble and or Frenzy sitting in the cockpit as if it was like the bot that he was storing away at the time. I don't think this makes sense for Soundwave because his mini-bots do not pilot him. One of the other ones in the assortment is like there's a Hulkbuster with an Iron Man inside. There is a Voltron with a little bitty pop of Keith inside. That makes sense, you know? And if they do a Megazord, there could be a Red Ranger inside. That makes sense. They have the Gundam license. They could do a whole run of these Gundam style with the pilots in the middle. I would buy at least the G Gundam one. But it's a little bit weird for it to come with Soundwave, and I'm a little bit thrown off by like the clear mouth plate. I think that's a mistake. Clear visor that you can see the pop inside with, yes. Clear mouth, no. I think that's looks a little bit weird. I think you're throwing it off now. But it's an interesting idea nonetheless. Funko desperately needs to do something interesting because like they've been struggling. It's like when Marvel movies and Disney movies and Star Wars movies all started struggling at the same time, Funko lost their big three that kept them afloat. So we'll see what else they come up with. And to wrap it up for the day, we have official pictures of well, not official pictures, but we have pictures from the official Transformers run in Singapore. This is just basically a fun run that they were doing. There were, different goals, different attractions. I see, you got like exclusive merchandise. I don't think exclusive merchandise, but like a lot of cool photo op stuff. The big logos, the big banners, always kind of cool. The big inflatable Optimus is there. Let's see what else, what other pictures, because they had, they had statues from Transformers 1 as well. So there's a lot of cool visuals here, which I'm glad a lot of people got to experience. Fireworks show, too. A lot of neat stuff. A lot of neat stuff going on. So, yeah, it looked like a fun day for those who want to run around a track for some Transformer goodies. But nope, that is going to do it for the news for the week. So, as usual, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you're all informed of your news for the week. We'll be back on Monday doing it again. So, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time.